Good morning, class. Today we're going to begin working with comparative and superlative adjectives. First of all, let's remember what an adjective is. Adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns, remember? And what is a noun? A person, place, thing, or idea. So adjectives help the people we talk to or write to get a better idea about what we're trying to describe. All right? Now, how do we use comparatives and superlatives? We use comparatives and superlatives to compare two things. For instance, this picture is more colorful than the other one. On the other hand, we use superlatives to say which thing is top in a group. For example, this is the most colorful picture in the whole collection. All right, so let's take a look at some basic rules to form comparative and superlative adjectives. For most one-syllable adjectives, we have to add er to form a comparative and est to form a superlative. For most two or more syllable adjectives, we have to add more and most before the adjective. There are some irregular verbs that do not take any of these rules, but I am going to mention them at the end of this presentation. All right, don't worry, we're going to see all this in detail right now, okay? This is what we need to do in order to form comparatives. For one-syllable adjectives, for example, small, small. How many syllables? That's right, one. So we have to add er, which would be smaller if we want to use a comparative, or est if we want to use a superlative, smallest. And the same goes for all the one-syllable adjectives. Nice, nicer, or nicest, big, bigger, or biggest, fast, faster, or fastest. We always have to take into consideration the spelling rules. For an adjective having a consonant vowel consonant in the end, we have to double the last consonant. Take a look at the adjective big. It's consonant vowel consonant, right? So we have to double the last consonant, G, and we have B-I-G-G-E-R, bigger, or the same goes with biggest. And when ending in a silent E, we have to drop that final E and then add ER. Take a look at nice, N-I-C-E. So we have to drop that E before adding the ER. That means we will never see a double E at the end of our comparative or superlative adjectives. So, when we are doing two or more syllable adjectives, for example, famous, famous, what do we have to do? We have to add more or most before the adjective. More famous, most famous. Then we have the other one, interesting or interesting. That means we have 3 or 4 syllables depending on how we pronounce it, but it would be more interesting or most interesting. Now there are some exceptions, all right? When we have 2-syllable adjectives that end in Y, we have to change the Y to I and then add ER or EST. Take a look at the first one, pretty. It ends in Y, so we have to change the Y to I and then add ER or EST. Prettiest, prettier with an I instead of a Y. And we do the same for easy and early and so many other adjectives ending in Y that have 2 syllables. So, how do we actually use these words? When we are comparing two things, we use comparative adjectives. Take a look at this information. John is 1.2 meters tall. Jake is 1.7 meters tall. So, Jake is taller than John Or we could also use short. John is shorter than Jake. Now take a look at the next one. Today is 28 degrees Celsius. Yesterday, 21. So, today is hotter than yesterday. Please pay attention how we doubled the final consonant before adding ER. Notice that we use the adjective plus ER and then it is followed by than, always. When you're using comparatives, you're going to do it like this: taller than, hotter than, faster than, nicer than. Here are some more examples. In my opinion, and this actually is my opinion, furry dogs are prettier than chihuahuas. Disney is more exciting than Six Flags. Spelling in English is more complicated than in Spanish. So here we use the adjective plus ER, pretty, plus than, okay? This is the exception we saw before. But we also have the use with more. But we always have to use than. More plus adjective plus than. Prettier than. More exciting than. More complicated than. Let's practice, shall we? What you have to do here is something quite easy. Make the comparative form of these adjectives. For example, famous. How many syllables does it have? Famous. That's right, 2. So how do you form the comparative adjective? Let's go on to beautiful. Beautiful. How many? That's right, 3 syllables. Then we have the adjective short. Short. 1 syllable. Pretty. 2 syllables, but be careful because it ends in Y. So remember, there is a special rule for this type of adjective. All right, spectacular. Spectacular. 4 syllables. Let's go to the second column. Large. Cold. Easy. 2 syllables again, but it is also ending in Y, so be careful again. Dangerous. That's 3 syllables. And finally, important. 3 syllables, that's right. Shall we check your answers? Famous, more famous. Beautiful, more beautiful. Short, shorter. Pretty, prettier. Spectacular, more spectacular, that's right. Large, larger. Cold, that's right, colder. Easy, easier. Dangerous, more dangerous. Important, more important. True, you guys are doing great. I'm so happy you're really getting this so easily. Now, what happens when we compare 3 or more things? We do not use a comparative anymore, but we use a superlative. Remember, superlatives are the ones that end in EST or that are preceded by most. So let's take a look at this information. John is tall. Max is taller than John. Eric is taller than Max. So the question is, who is taller than the other 2? That's right, Eric. So how would we make the sentence? That's right, Eric is the tallest boy. What if I wanted to ask you who is shorter than the other 2? You're right, John. So how would I make a complete sentence? John is the shortest boy. Notice that we always use the before the superlative adjective or the before most and then the adjective. The tallest, the shortest, the most incredible, etc. Now here, what I want you to tell me is which car is more expensive than the others. The McLaren costs $1.15 million. The Aston Martin, $3.2 million. That's crazy, right? Take a look at the Rolls Royce. It costs $13 million. And the Mercedes-Benz Maybach, that's right, $8 million. So which car is more expensive than all the others? You're right, the Rolls Royce. So how would we make a sentence with this? You got it. The Rolls Royce Sweptail is the most expensive car. Now let's practice again. What I need you to do is, instead of doing the comparative, I need you to make the superlative form of these words. Old, beautiful, short, tall, spectacular, large, cold, easy. Watch out, it ends in Y. Dangerous. And important. Are you ready to check your answers? Old, oldest, beautiful, most beautiful, short, shortest, tall, tallest, spectacular, most spectacular, large, largest, cold, that's right, coldest, easy, you got this, easiest, dangerous, most dangerous, got it right, important, most important. You guys rock at this. Now, these are the irregular adjectives I was talking about. When you want to use a comparative and superlative forms of good, we don't say gooder or most good. That would be incorrect. You have to use better and best. All right? Good, better, best. The same goes for bad. All right? We cannot say badder or more bad or baddest. No, we have to say worse and worst. And far, which has two different spellings, and we add a TH in the middle. We don't say more far. We would say farther or farthest if we are referring to physical distance, and further or furthest. Okay? So now we're going to get an opportunity to really practice writing all your ideas down and your answers in your student book, page 70. So take out your pencil, go to student book, page 70, and answer the exercise. But remember, if you have any questions about this topic, please let me know. You can either type the comments in the section below where it says comments, or you can send me a message through SESWeb, or if you rather chat, you can also do that in the SESWeb platform. All right? So I loved working with you today, guys. Thank you so very much.